Ranjit Tunga, perspectivemapper.org. What is a mature perspective? How do we know our perspective is mature? How do we know what we are listening to, what we are being told is mature? Is something that we can trust? A lot of times we rely on whatever our emotional state is to tell us what we find to be true, or we might use a certain type of logic to come to a conclusion, but emotions change. And it's hard to accept, but logic changes as well. These are very relative. If this wasn't the case, we wouldn't have so many different points of view on this planet from so many different types of people with so much incredible experiences behind them. But we have this diversity of perspectives on our planet, in all spheres of life, in our religions, in our politics, in our education, in our sciences, in our law, in our business. So many different perspectives from people who have, by all of our human standards, the credibility to stand on their experience. So what is a mature perspective, and how do we trust? What do we know what to trust? So many different points of view being shown us, being expressed to us, and coming up and being generated within ourselves. It seems like a tough one, and we don't have the answer. We collectively do not have the answer. Otherwise, we wouldn't have our leaders, the people that we're supposed to be looking to for guidance, directly contradicting each other, viciously contradicting each other. So we can trust. What can we trust? We can trust what is transcendent of our human limitations. We can use the word God. We can use the word higher truth, higher source. Of course, depending on who we are and where we are, we might have more access to it, or a more visceral connection, or a more subtle connection. We can trust it, though. And what also can we trust? We can trust that any perspective that seeks to put itself above others is inherently immature. A mature perspective does not try to convince, does not try to persuade, does not try to declare itself correct, does not try to cover up, does not try to protect, does not try to defend itself. It is confident in its own ability to represent a facet of truth. And it is self-aware of its own limitations as well. It's not trying to win. It's not trying to counteract. It's not trying to argue, out-rationalize, out-emotionalize another point of view. It is confident in itself, and it is welcoming. It is welcoming of other points of view. That is the definition of a mature perspective. It welcomes other points of view. It invites other points of view. It can coexist with, and not just coexist with, but inform and integrate and dialogue with and grow with other points of view. It's impossible for us, purely from a human perspective, to be able to have a mature perspective, I believe. And what I mean by that is, if it was just our conditioning, we would be limited in terms of what we can see and perceive and appreciate. But we have the ability, I have found, and of course countless people over the course of human history have found through spiritual practices or inner practices, to tap into a transcendent principle that allows us to work through our conditioning and see a higher point of view. And that's what we're called to in this day and age. That's the challenge of this day and age, where perspectives might have been able to coexist from a distance. Now we're face to face with people of other points of view. And we are at a precipice where, if we are not able to find a place where our perspectives can coexist with others and inform each other's, we have the capacity, and it seems like the willingness, to destroy each other and destroy the entire species. So it is our imperative in these coming days to cultivate a mature perspective. Ranjit Tunga, perspectivemapper.org. Please join our mailing list, subscribe to our channel, and be in touch. And let's work together on some of these core challenges we face. All the best.